during the season we have many kind of injuries. Typically a lot of musculoskeletal injuries, usual sprains and strains, blood clots, or these are the ones that are muscular that we do, including fractures. And then there are other injuries that, fevers or infections and things like that. As a doctor who is there along with the physio, my role includes taking care of everything, okay, which includes families that travel with us also. So although the physio takes care of most of the musculoskeletal, on a deeper level I get involved in planning the injury treatment and the management. See, typically these are basic things. Most of the players who play for us have been playing for a very long time, so they are aware of the injury management, also the benefits of stretching, strengthening, they know. So typically we ask them not to overtrain and train only according to what the coaches and the physios tell them, and also not to, once they're injured, not to stress themselves more and take care of their injuries. See, we take care of the diet patterns. So typically our trainers involved in formulating the diet, but we don't have a hard and fast rule about the diet per se during our season. CSK never had a specific dietary schedule for individual players. Most of our players are quite senior and veterans who are anyway following a set pattern. In case some of them need guidance, I help them along with it, but it's very rare that we actually give specific diet guidelines at all to them. Most of my issues are with injury management. So I don't specifically have a role with the coaches. Unless there are specific players who have issues, then we tell them that yes, that too typically comes in planning the 11 or the probables, etc. So when there are injuries, we give them a schedule on, look, we expect him or him to be available 5 days or a week from now, or this is what they can do during training. And during match days, yes, we make sure they are hydrated well, their diet is on point, and the training is on point. That's the role that I have as part of our support team. We do that for players who seem to have repeatedly the same kind of injuries. Okay, so if there are players who tend to injure their ankle very often, then we do some orthotics for them, where we give them specific footwear, or we make adjustments to their footwear instance, but most of it is done through the coaches. Especially the biomechanical advice is always given through the coaches. So it's not that we give it to them and they take it. It's always we get the coaches involved in most of the biomech advices. See, I mean, as far as medicine and sports, yes, I think you need to have a basic interest in this, because normally it's not as exciting as people think, because you sit on long stretches of time without actually doing anything. Okay, so your action will happen on a short segment when you need to be really alert and ready. So you need to have an interest in sport, you need to be following what is happening, and of course you have to have a basic degree in medicine to then take it forward, but there are a lot of opportunities these days, of course. In CSK, I think it's because I was involved with Tamil Nadu cricket for a very long time. It's my 22nd year with Tamil Nadu cricket, so I've been involved with Tamil Nadu cricket, and a large part of CSK is born out of Tamil Nadu cricket. So I think it was natural that they made me a part of the franchise. See, they are extremely large. I mean, we use, at least in the Chennai Super Kings, we use the latest techniques in managing our players, because most of them have access to the best technique in the world. So whatever we do here, if they go to Australia or South Africa or America tomorrow, it should not be that what we are doing is not current. So most techniques that we use are extremely current, and most of us in our management team, whether it's Tommy or myself, we're very updated on the latest techniques. And I think it's a little too specific to get into specifics. We do use a lot of techniques which are very, very current and modern. It is always a challenge to manage a team which has got a different mix of players, but then we have a large percentage of players who are a little older than your mean, but I think they are also experienced, so they know what not to do. So they know how much to train, how much not to train, and they are in very good control of their bodies. So it was actually easier to manage them because they knew what, and if they were not feeling up to it, or if they had small niggles, they will come to us right away and say, look doc, I'm not feeling all right, I think, and it's easier for us to manage it rather than have a novice who would flog that part and get into a little severe injury, which will be more difficult for us to manage. So that way, having a little more senior player is always much more easier for the medical team to manage, yes. Again, Watto is somebody who is in control of his body. See, he knows what he can do, what he cannot do, which is the same with Bravo and most of our senior players. So Watto was very clear, this I could do, and I think the captain was also very clear on this is what he expected of the player. So he did not expect him to dive for the fielding, etc. So Watto was being managed by the medical support team. But I think we managed it quite well, and he played within his limitations, and he is a player of extraordinary ability, and that just showed during the finals.